Welcome back to Speargrass Forge. If you're new here, thanks for coming. If you're coming back, thanks for returning. Today is going to be a little bit different because I'm going to be fabricating a spinning jenny or a fencing wire spindle. Stick around.
Hoist the sail and raise the anchor, the sun is getting high. Australia, destination, the land of sun and sky.
Okay, so in making this spindle, what I'm basing it off is I've got an old rim here with a tyre on it. Now the tyre is ruined; it had something go through the sidewall. But this is this bit here is a spindle off a ride-on lawnmower. So as you can tell, it's all clapped out. It's no longer useful. So, but this has bearings on the inside of this, which allows me to make basically with the spinning jenny, this will help it spin. Now this is also the pulley off it. As you can tell, this is all worn out and ruined as well. So I'm going to weld this over the top, and then cut these, weld these onto the arm for some pipe to slip over. So I'll explain each point as I go. But to begin with, what I'm going to start off with is I'm going to set this in the vise and weld this on nice and central, so that we've got the starting point, and then I'm going to bolt this to the actual rim. So stick around and I'll be back shortly. So just as a little bit of safety tip before I begin, it's been a couple of months since I actually did some welding, and I should just remind you to check your gloves, because just before I went to put on, I had a little bit of a look and there was a redback spider just in there, or what you guys would call a black widow. So it wouldn't have been pleasant. I had to stuck my hands into this and been bitten on the hand by a nasty spider. So don't forget to check all your equipment before you begin, particularly gloves, because nasty things like to live in it. It's nice and dark and warm, and you don't want to go sticking your hands in something where nasty things live. So don't forget to check your equipment. Alrighty, so we've got that done. Seems to be nice and centered. Now that's not welded on nice and securely. The next bit, so I've got to cut these at about 90 mil, which is about 3 inches, in order to support the weight of the spool of wire. So this is next. So I'm going to just bust out the drop saw, cut this off. I've got 2 here, I need 1 more. I'm making a wire shape, and we'll get into doing that. So stick around, we'll be back shortly. Don't forget, eyes and ear and protection. Okay, so what I've done here is I've just marked off a bottom line, so I have even measurements all the way along. Okay, now here is the end of where it's going to weld to the spindle, and this is half the distance from there to there. So, and then across I've measured half the difference across the thickness of the bars, so that I put a center dot so I can drill a hole through these, and in order to eventually put a pin through. So the point is, these will be where these holes, these center point marks, will be a hole through them, so we can drop a pin in which will hold the arms on. And that's one done. So now, I'll just get the rest done and I'll see you shortly. Alrighty, so now all these are drilled. Alrighty, so now all these are drilled. Next point is put them on here and welding them on. So weld one there, and so on. Well, this way. Right, so I'll get the welder hooked up and weld these on in just a moment. Now that's all welded up, time to cut the supports. So I've marked these out at 60mm or just shy of 600mm or just shy of 2 feet. Okie dokie, so now these are cut and slid over. Now I just want to drill these holes to drop the locking pin in for while it's spinning. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off individually. So just going to use my calipers here and just mark out how far it is from the centre of hole to the line. So I might go that way. Yep. So there. So go from there to there, should be about there. So now I'm going to whack a centre dot mark on there, head over and drill through. 2 done. And three. And 3. So that's put slots in there, slots in there to lock it in, and slots in there to lock it in. Beautiful. So now I have to mark out where the spaces are on this. So I need to grab my tape measure. And from the centre, there you go. Six and a half. 7. That doesn't make any sense. So as the last bit, I've got a couple of 8mm bolts here, and these drop through nice and easily. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to weld the second one on here, just so that it can act as a backstop for the wire, and go through there. So this is what I'm going to attempt. Hopefully it's strong enough. If it's not, I'll fabricate something later on. But for the moment, this should do it. So drop that in there. We're going to hook up the welder, and we'll start this. Right, so before we go any further, now we have to bolt this down to the actual axle. So I've got some 6mm high tensile bolts here that with a couple of washers on them. So I'm just going to bolt these in now, and that way we can get this all done, and then we can give it a test. And there we go. One spinning Jenny. Now this post here has actually been added on so that I can do cyclone or security mesh, and slide the pipe in and then slide it over the top there, so it's upright while I pull out the security mesh. But yeah, that's it. It's all done. I think it's pretty good. Thanks for watching. If you like what you saw, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. Click the bell icon for notifications of when I upload, usually on the week. Don't forget to check out my Spreadshirt and Print Bar stores, links in the description. And I hope to see you again next time. Cheers.